Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Sacha Johnston, the new host of the new show called Real Talk with Sacha. Is that correct? Did I do that correctly?
Yes, it is. Real Talk with Sacha.
Well, Dr. Joe was the one that introduced us. She was on his show, and one thing's lead to another. We've kind of been waiting, or I've been waiting. We started this probably 4 to 6 weeks ago, and now it's in fruition, and it happened, and ProView Networks is happy. We're happy, and how are you?
I'm very happy, Steve. I've had the opportunity to start to share the things I love about my community with everyone else in the world, and I love where I live. I think Albuquerque is a wonderful place with many, many things that we are proud of, and I love having that opportunity to show the rest of the world what a great place we're in.
Well, I think that you and I have the same passion about, in the same direction, but mine's has been more in sports, direction, and we have a lot of great student athletes that sometimes are overlooked in the bigger world, or in the United States, I guess you would say, and find out that we have some great athletes and great individuals, and even if they don't go to the Division I schools, there's a lot of good Division IIs and NAIA schools in New Mexico that they can go to and extend their career. So it's we have similarities and background with that, but more so that your passion is really what brought me to kind of mentor you to say, hey, why don't you start doing a real show about what you're doing and really talk about the good things that are happening in Albuquerque.
I happen to be a very involved member of my community. I volunteer with a lot of charitable organizations. I participate in many different events, and I have 2 kids, so that keeps me involved with APS, different activities. And so I feel like I have a lot of varied knowledge about the different types of things that go on in our city. And one misconception that I've encountered is people outside of our community, they tend to have this view that we're a whole lot of Breaking Bad or, cops. And so
well, I think that they get the most attention. Okay.
Yeah,
exactly. It's
exactly, and it's a misconception because I've lived here for 30 years, since I was a little girl. We were a military family. My dad got stationed here like many, many implants into New Mexico. And I've done nothing but love this place more every day. And so as someone who lives here, I feel like because I love my community, it's my job to help correct that misconception. It's a beautiful place to live. We have 300 days of sunshine a year, one of the most culturally diverse cities in the country, and we have so much to offer. So I'm so grateful for the opportunity to just share that and bring that stuff to light with the rest of the world.
Well, I think the word land of enchantment, and people always laugh when you hear so many stories about people coming to Albuquerque that for one reason we're going to stay 1 year, 2 years, and then they end up spending their whole because they you think about it, you're 2 hours from the ocean. I mean, if the ocean is part of your, thing, you can be anywhere you want to be to a pro sports event within an hour and a half, 2 hours, and things like that. But really, it's the people grow on you, and the land of tomorrow, and I mean,
Yes.
it's really, I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. I mean, and I came from a little town, Clovis, New Mexico, on the east side of the state, and I wouldn't say too little, but Clovis, and came to Albuquerque, and it kind of made that my home, and I'm a true New Mexican.
We do have that attitude of, I call it carpe mañana, or seize tomorrow, because here we don't do things very quickly. It's not like some of the big cities where everything's go, 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 fast paced. I feel like we take more care and more time, and we also connect with people more. In Albuquerque, I'm sure you know, everything is done by relationships. Who do you know that does this job, or who do you know that owns this kind of a business? And we ask for those kinds of recommendations for each other, and we try to support our local business owners and our fellow community leaders. And I feel like we do a great job of that. And so I want to I want to showcase some of those things. I want to show people that we are, even though we're the biggest little town I've ever lived in, we're still a world-class community with so much to offer. And we have things you can't do anywhere else. How about our feast days? That's one of my favorite things, to go out to the pueblos for their feast days and to interact with an indigenous culture and see how they celebrate, how they respect their elders and their ancestors. And then we have Meow Wolf. We have beautiful mountains everywhere. We have 300 days of sunshine a year, and we have more space to enjoy than any other state in the nation. So I want to share those experiences and those activities with people, and I want to help the people in my community find out about things that they didn't know about. And I know you've been exposed to some things you didn't know about through my YouTube channel, like the Harmony Highway, for example.
Well, I'll tell you, you've opened my eyes up, and that kind of, I was thinking, outside the box, I guess you would think that, it'd be neat if somebody would really talk about New Mexico, all the things that, I've been living here, and I finally went down to Silver City. And what an unbelievable drive for one, and then also, actually, there's a sports town in there too. There's a call Western New Mexico, and they have put out great athletes and put out a lot of good things, and so that kind of opened my eye up. Albuquerque's the metro of the whole state, I guess, the middle of the whole state, but there's so many things in it's the cultures of New Mexico. You can't. It's just so broad.
It is, and I think that's one of my favorite things about here. When people come here, they can be anyone they want to be, and there is a place for them. Because we are so culturally diverse, you will find your tribe here. There is a tribe for everyone, and it doesn't matter what your interests are. We have something for everyone, and I think that is something that most people don't know, and I want to make sure I expose that we have all of these different activities, all of these different things, and it doesn't matter what your interests are, you will find something you love and people you love doing it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sacha, we're going to come back, we're going to show your intro and talk more about live talk with Sacha. Real talk, excuse me.
The Albuquerque Dragway is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks. Visit abqdragway.com for directions and a full event schedule.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We have Sacha Johnston, the new host of the new series, basically, Real Talk with Sacha. And we got a little, Josh got a little intro here of your show coming up on Mondays at 6:30. This is something you kind of brought up, and this is you doing your first show.
Yes, and this one was about actually the health of the Albuquerque real estate market. I actually participated in a charity fashion show run by the Women's Council of Realtors, so we were able to cover that. I also had the president of the Association of Realtors, John Lopez, come and talk to us about what the Albuquerque real estate market is doing right now. And then I had someone who specializes in helping people become real estate agents. So I was really grateful that I had such great and knowledgeable guests, and it was a lot of fun.
There's John right there.
Yeah, John is the current president of the Greater Albuquerque Association of Realtors, so he has the latest and newest information on what's happening in our market. And so yes, this was Terry. He is an expert in helping people become real estate agents, and he gave us some information on how people can do that. So we do air live here on ProView Networks, but we also air live on YouTube, and that's something different I'm doing with my show. YouTube gives people the capability to participate, our viewers, and so I want the viewers to have that opportunity. I want to answer their questions, and so viewers can come on my YouTube channel live, Mondays at 6:30 Mountain Time, and they can actually watch the show live, type into the chat room, and interact with the show.
So let me stop you right there. So if I wanted to be on your show, how would I get to be on your show? How do I contact you? What interest would you have in having people on your show?
I always want to have people on my show, especially local members of our community, business owners, community leaders, event coordinators. If you are an active member of our community, I'm interested in talking. So the easiest way to reach
That's a
out,
broad range of people. I mean, that could be anywhere from
It is.
from the Indian Cultural Center, from all the way to the Chamber of Commerces of the West and the East Side, and a lot of
Yes.
maybe a little political people too.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm even bugging the mayor's office trying to get an interview with him, because I'm not focusing on political views. What I'm focusing on is people within the community who are trying to make our community a better place and are actively doing something to help with that. So it will be a wide variety of people, and it can be anything from major things like the mayor to smaller things like a small community event, a neighborhood organization, volunteer events. I'm showcasing all of the wonderful things about our community.
Well, what's nice about is similar to what ProView Networks does in the sports world is what you're trying to accomplish in the city of Albuquerque or the metro area or even the whole state of New Mexico. It doesn't have to be limited just to Albuquerque.
And it's not. I will be doing things that are outside of Albuquerque but within the state. I definitely want to do an episode about Meow Wolf at some point. There's so many people out there who don't even know that it exists outside of Albuquerque and our community. And I think this is one of those things that just showcases how culturally diverse we are, how committed to loving our community and having a great time we are, and what we can do when we work together. So if people want to share what they're doing with our community, the easiest way, you can Google my contact information. I am a licensed realtor in the state of New Mexico, and I sell real estate with Coldwell Banker. So my cell phone number, my office number, and my email address are all on the internet, and all you have to do is Google my name.
Well, that's pretty simple. That's how I found you. And you actually, we had a little bit of trouble contacting with my phone number, but we finally connected. But I have seen your YouTube postings and things like
Yes.
that, and it seemed like you were on the beginning level, not as
Yes.
a deal, but you just needed a little bit of guidance, and then get a studio and get a name, get your name out there, and get some exposure, and it's going to be very successful.
Well, thank you, Steve. I did start with my YouTube channel, and I do have a YouTube channel. Again,
And you have a following. That's
I do.
And a lot of that following comes from that the hidden treasure. Kind
Yes.
of touch on that a little bit.
Yes, I am known for searching for hidden treasure, and it is the Forest Fen treasure, which is based right here in New Mexico. And I did an episode on that, which is actually on my YouTube channel. So I have been interviewed many times because of this treasure hunt, and I've been active part of it for 5 years. So I do have a YouTube following, and I did start my YouTube channel because of that. I used to go on and talk about how I solved the clues to the poem and what's going on with that. But since then, and since meeting you, I've realized the potential and the opportunity, and I have definitely upped my game thanks to you.
Well, I think, you know, it's that's a compliment. Thanks first of all, but I'm just saying it's just, you know, that's what, you know, Comcast Channel 20, the city is trying to do is get young talent like yourself, people, give them the ability to have the ability to do their shows on an upgrade scale than just a little movie camera. Use a studio, use the nice, you know, the graphics, and put music behind it and do the whole thing. But you took that challenge, and it's exciting for Probe. You know, everybody on our staff is excited for you with your energy and your passion that you have for it.
Well, I've had a great experience here at ProView. I found the staff to be extremely professional, knowledgeable. They know what they're doing. The equipment, everything here has really been phenomenal. I started doing all this with a cell phone and my camera on my cell phone. And now, I mean, I couldn't even imagine having access to all of these resources that you've provided me. And I'm always impressed with what you guys do here. You really put out professional level productions, and your staff always really is on point, and they know what they're doing. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have those resources.
Well, Sacha, we're going to come back, and talk more about some of your future adventures with the city of Albuquerque.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back to the Steve Davis Show. We have Sacha Johnston, the new host of the I'm always going to Real Talk with Sacha. There we go. I'm doing well. But throw us a little carrot. You know, you got a really special show coming up this next Monday.
I do. So I'm a mother. I have 2 children. My daughter is going to be a junior at UNM this year. She's brilliant. And my son is going into 1st grade and has autism. And so the show we're doing on Monday is going to specifically focus on autism resources that are available to families within the state of New Mexico. I had to go through a lot of trial and error and tracking this information down, and I want to share that with the parents of other autistic children in our community so that maybe something I learned can help them get the resources that their child needs. So this is an episode it's very dear to my heart, and I'm very passionate about. And then I'm also, there's something called 505 food fights that I'm going to look into. Local chefs here in Albuquerque meet at a restaurant in an evening during the week, and they are given surprise ingredients, and the 2 of them duke it out and make something amazing, and whoever's meal is the best wins. And the semifinals are coming up, so this is something I want to cover. And then another episode I'll be doing next month is on the event called Dîner en Blanc. And that one requires some explanation, but it's my favorite event every year. We're going to have the organizers come out and talk to us about the event and tell people how they can join in on that event as well.
Well, I tell you, there's so much to cover, and you're going to find out, as I did, with so many people, so many great people in the state of New Mexico. You know, I speak from the sports world, but there's so many enthusiastic people and things that are going on that really don't get the accolades and the exposure that they really need to get to keep this community to be. One thing that I think really bothers me is we're, you know, whatever, rating 48th to 50th state in the country, or in the United States, and that to me is kind of an insult from from an athletic, competitive type person I am. Is that why aren't we better? And things that you're doing and bringing out exposes why New Mexico is the land of enchantment.
Well, I have something for you I don't think you know about. When I was in high school, I participated in a Marine Corps ROTC program at La Cueva. And
you had an interesting you know, let's talk about your background. How, you know, we kind of, the Reader's Digest of Sacha, give me a real quick.
I'll give you the quick version. Again, I moved here when I was 8 years old. We were transplanted as an Air Force family, and I have never left. This has been my favorite place. I grew up in the Albuquerque public school system. I attended La Cueva High School. I was in ROTC. I'm a mom of 2 kids. I'm a licensed real estate agent, and I've been a project manager in different capacities for 15 years. So that's just the short bio version. I also spend my free time treasure hunting, as many people know, and I participate in my community quite a bit in various ways. So I feel like even though I'm not a native, this is my home.
Well, you know, when I was trying to throw that carrot out for you, you're a sports person. You did something intriguing in high school.
I went to Del Norte my freshman year, and then I moved to La Cueva District my sophomore year. At both schools, I was a football manager. So I got to interact with football players and the coaches, and I also got to support them in many different ways. And it was an interesting position as a girl, to be, you know, interacting with all these young athletes, but I found it to be very rewarding. These kids work so hard, and even then, when I was in high school, I could see that they worked very hard at what they do, and they're very dedicated and committed to what they do. The coaches are committed. The schools are behind these students, and I think I think that's where I learned that Albuquerque is a community, and we're the type of community where we really support each other. You know, our roots go deep, and again, we always reach out for recommendations from local people. We try to support local businesses. So I was very grateful to have that experience. And then, so as part of the ROTC program, they have a shooting program, rifle.
Oh, I know. I'm right behind this. So, I mean, I'm behind you on this. I mean,
so they are actually, New Mexico is probably the top ranked state in the nation for high school shooting. Did you know that?
I did.
Yes.
I actually, I tried to do a little documentary on it, but we couldn't set our cameras up. And actually, I went and put a lot of effort into with the ROTC, with La Cueva, trying to do it. But the way the facilities are, it's hard to do a broadcast with.
So I'm not sure when you did that, but now they have a very large shooting
like
facility.
7 years ago, 8, 9 years ago.
So this is more recent. They took West Mesa's old auxiliary gym and turned it into a shooting range. And this is an interesting story because I'm trying to currently have that shooting range named after Major William Barker. Major Barker was my instructor at La Cueva for the ROTC program.
That's who I was speaking with Barker.
Yes. Well, Major Barker passed away over a year ago. And he has his own Facebook group devoted to him. It's called Friends of Major Barker. And there are over 600 members in that group, all members of our community. And recently, I've been meeting with the head of all of our ROTC programs, as well as the COO of Albuquerque Public Schools, and Major Hendricks, who is the ROTC instructor over at West Mesa High School. And we're supposed to be meeting with the principal soon. And these 600 people and myself are devoted to trying to get this shooting range named after Major Barker. So we may need to revisit your conversation because they now have the facilities that you may be able to record them. And they have the state shooting tournament is held at that West Mesa gym.
Well, Sacha, quickly, real talk with Sacha.
Real Talk with Sacha, Monday nights live in Albuquerque at 6:30, and on my YouTube channel, just Google my name, Sacha Johnston, and make sure you subscribe so that you can catch our shows live. And we'll also be expanding it to other platforms in the future. So we have many ways for people to watch.
Well, Sacha, thanks for coming on the Steve Davis Show, and good luck to you in your adventure.
Steve, thank you for the opportunity for the adventure. I really appreciate it.